Hi everyone, this is Mama Rants. I'm not going to be ranting today. Today I'll just be sharing some tips as from my experience being pregnant twice with my two kids. Of course, twice, two. And sorry, sorry. The way my brain works is that because of the mum brain, sometimes I just forget what I'm saying. Right, if you're still listening right now, thank you so much for being patient with me. I'm back. What I was going to say is that I'm going to go through a few things which I think would benefit anyone that's pregnant. Because let's be serious, the whole experience, although depicted on social media, can sometimes be seen as, oh, it's so dreamy, so magical, so beautiful. There is that beautiful element of being excited about being a mother, or if you already had kids, reliving those moments. There's also a side which actually not many people can understand unless you've actually gone through it yourself. Sometimes not even your partner, because as a woman, there, first of all, your hormone levels, your health, the physical changes in your body, and the effects it can have on you mentally, and still being able to be expected and having to carry on with your daily life, your daily routine, and especially for those women that work, is not easy. And I think these things could really just benefit. And I'm just going to share how my experience went, and the things that I think would benefit you. So first of all, food. Now, I just want to put a disclaimer out there that I am not a medical expert. Please don't take my words as advice. Please always check up with your midwife regarding anything. And also, this is my personal experience, so I am not forcing anything upon anyone. This is just what I think benefited me, and if anyone else feels the same, then they can also look into that themselves. With food, now, I would always say look up what things are suitable and not suitable for pregnancy. It's upon you to decide that. It's upon you to decide certain things. I've seen that, some people avoid seafood, like sushi. I'm not a fan of sushi, so I've not had a problem with that anyway. When it comes to food, you should be careful because you need to prioritize the health of your baby. And some people have been a bit more casual about it. Often you will actually see that first-time mums would be very careful, and as you progress, if you have a second, third, fourth child, etc., then they tend to get relaxed, I guess because, they compare their previous experiences and think, oh, it wasn't that deep, etc. But like I said, I would always be very careful with food. And in general, just as we're advised to have a healthy, balanced diet, I think when you're pregnant, it's even more beneficial for you, because it's very easy to gain more weight. And this is totally not fat shaming anyone. I'm not fat shaming anyone. I'm not at all saying that, oh, don't gain weight, because you will gain weight. There are some women out there that don't gain weight. They look exactly the same. But there are some women that actually they gain a drastic amount in such a short time, which they would have never gained if they were not pregnant. So I would say that it's always safe to eat healthy than to not. And there's nothing to lose by being healthy. And if you can wait it out for a few months, it's for the best. Because what happens is sometimes with some women, like me, I had gestational diabetes both times. And for those of you that don't know what that is, it's just like you temporarily get diabetes. Your blood sugar levels go high when you're pregnant, and they tend to just snap back to normal after you have given birth. However, those women are more likely to develop diabetes in the future. So with me, I actually had developed a very strong sweet tooth, and I would say giving into your cravings is not always wise. It's very tempting, and I do feel that I ate quite a lot during my first and second pregnancy, just because of stress. I was working both times as well, but when I was told that I'm at risk, and my my level of gestational diabetes, it's not very high, I would say, but it was on the borderline where I actually had to be careful, and I had to be monitoring my blood glucose levels at home, which was so annoying. Please, I need to get onto that next. But that's why I mean that eating healthy will always be beneficial. So what happened was, I'm sorry, I can't actually remember how long it is into your pregnancy, but at some point, every pregnant woman has to take that test. In fact, I actually looked into it. Wait a minute. I believe that you actually have the right to decline that test, but it's always best to take it, just because if, for example, you do end up having gestational diabetes, then it can cause a lot of serious health complications for the baby. Sometimes the baby can be too large, which makes it difficult if you are aiming for a natural birth, for the baby to realistically pass through the birth canal. Sometimes the baby can be born with very low blood sugar levels, which can make the baby quite sleepy and, low in energy, which is also quite scary. So there's a lot of different complications. And when it came to that, then I think it's always best to just, have that test. So they obviously, you have that fasting. You fast the night before, and they check your blood glucose levels. You don't have your breakfast. They check it, and then after they give you this sugary drink. I actually really liked it. It was like a nice tangy orange drink, which you're meant to drink there and then. And they check again. Unfortunately, I actually vomited after the drink, and I wasn't able to complete the second blood test. But at that point, they had already checked my first blood test, and they said that, yeah, you're actually at risk, so you would need to still be monitoring your blood glucose levels. So what is so annoying about that? Tell me what isn't. Right, they give you this monitor, okay, every single day, and until your levels are back to normal, until the midwife is actually satisfied, you need to be monitoring your blood sugar levels. You need to be pricking your finger, and believe me, I don't have many fingers, all right? I don't know about you. I don't have many fingers. To prick a hole on the fingers, first of all, is painful. I had to do that about 2 or 3 times a day. They would mark it for you, which ones they want you to do, but usually it was 3 times a day for me. It was like before breakfast, or after breakfast, before or after lunch, and then I think one was at night. So they'll pick 3 slots for you to choose, or more, depending on which hospital you go to, the midwife, how concerned she is, your level, etc. But yeah, pricking my fingers, there came a point literally where there was nowhere to prick. Like, there were so many holes, and my fingers the holes were still not healing, and I felt as if there wasn't enough blood coming out, because of the amount of pricks. Sounds so funny. The amount of pricks on my fingers. So, excuse me. Yeah, that was so painful, so annoying. And that was kind of a motivation for me. Another motivation just to sort this out sooner, because honestly, it was so long, and there will be days where, I've not checked it on time, because you have to check it like an hour before or after eating, and it can get really annoying. So I would say it's always best to have a healthy, balanced diet. Now, if you have found out that you do have gestational diabetes, do not panic. These 2-3 tips really helped me in terms of bringing my levels low. First of all, carbs, I pulled them down quite a lot. So I love my pasta, I love my rice. I pulled that down to probably 40% of what I would usually eat, which again is like, why would you want to eat pasta if it's not the whole plate, like a massive plate? And I can eat so much, but I did realize that, okay, I need to actually put the carbs low. So apart from that, I also wasn't being full, because carbs are mainly the things that make you feel full. So in terms of filling myself up, then I upped my protein. I'm not vegetarian, so I know there are limited options for that as well, but there are still options. But, I just upped my protein in terms of the chicken, lamb, beef, whatever it was, just to sort of keep myself full. And then I would have, what happened was, during the day, my levels would be fine. But during the night, my levels would be very high. And I would always be confused why. And then I realized it's because, first of all, I'm eating dinner really late. I would eat dinner around 8. So after putting my son to bed, I would have dinner then, just to relax. And the annoying thing is that it was actually really difficult for me to move around after that. I would just want to sit down and watch something with my husband. But again, that didn't help. So what did I start doing? I decided walking, just like a 5-minute brisk walk in the house. I am telling you, if your levels are high, they will instantly be pulled down low. After you eat, make sure you do a brisk walk. Because in the day you're running around, you probably got errands to do. If you have stairs, great. I don't have stairs. I live in a flat. So for me, it was just about up and down my house. But like I said, that really does help. So that's gestational diabetes and food in general. The next thing is free NHS prescriptions. If you don't already know, your midwife should give you the certificate, which basically gives you free prescriptions. So you don't have to pay for your prescriptions while you're pregnant, and also I think for up to 1 year after giving birth. And by the way, for children up to 16, I believe, they have free prescriptions. But for you, in terms of for you paying for your prescriptions, from being pregnant until post-birth 1 year, you don't have to pay for your prescriptions. And not many people know that. I actually had a nice midwife for my first son. She sorted all of that out for me. But when it came to my second pregnancy, the midwife did not do that. I then had a prescription because I was low on iron levels. And when I went in, I said, "Oh, I'm pregnant. It's free." And they said, "Do you have the certificate?" And I said, "No." So that is something that I would say is really important for you to know. If you don't know that already, then please go to your midwife, ask her to send you that certificate. They will. Everyone has to, and you're eligible for it. So there is no such thing as, I might not be able to get it, blah blah blah. Everyone gets one as long as you're pregnant. You get that. So that is so helpful, especially if you have other health conditions or there's other medication. It just helps so much in terms of finance. And by the way, this advice is coming from the UK. So if you're from another country, I'm sorry, I wouldn't be able to advise you on my experience there. I can only talk about what I'm experiencing in the UK. But you're more than welcome to listen to me, non-UK followers. Right. The next thing is midwife appointments. The peeing. Yes, I said the peeing. Before every appointment, when I would go to the midwife, I would have to pee. And I found that quite not so delightful, let's say. But yeah, just to note, you have to pee. Maybe some of them don't, but at some point, I'm pretty sure, because they need to just do a quick checkup and just make sure everything is fine. So peeing was quite annoying because usually I would go to the loo before going to my appointments. And then when I would go there, then I have to be trying to pee in those brown paper cups, which was so lovely. And then pour it into the little tube and then walk back to my midwife and, shamefully give it to her without making, just probably thinking she's going to cringe. But I mean, they do it a million times a day. They really don't care. And the world so doesn't revolve around me. Thank God for that. So I was saying peeing, you have to do that every single time. So don't pee. Don't wet yourself, but don't pee, girl. Pee when you get there. And in terms of the actual midwife appointments, I would say whatever questions you have, please ask, because I don't have many enthusiastic midwives, and again, I know how hard it is for midwives, and in overall, I do appreciate everything that they're doing. But for a pregnant woman, it's the first time we're seeing you, and enthusiasm and not being agitated with the questions we're asking is equally as important, because that's why you're there, right? To serve and help us. So please, if you're a midwife, just be a little bit kinder. I understand you can have a hard day as well, and you're totally allowed to have a hard day, but also, at least don't get annoyed if a pregnant woman is asking you a few questions, if she doesn't understand something, because she is also worried and in a vulnerable position, and also there are so many emotions taking place. It gets hard, girl. So yeah, be nice, be kind. Oh, sorry, I don't know where these accents are coming from. I actually have a talent of speaking in different accents, but right now I'm going to stick to my usual. Maybe in another video I might speak in another accent. So please ask questions in your midwife appointments. Right, the next thing, baby movements. Now they will tell you at what point you will start feeling your baby actually starting to move in your stomach, which is absolutely such a beautiful, it's such a cute feeling, honestly. It's just so cute, and it's crazy. You end up actually thinking, oh my god, there is actually a human being inside me. Like, I know I'm pregnant, but when they move, then it's kind of crazy, because you're saying literally it's just the sac and then your skin and the baby. Like, it's there, but it's not there because you can't see it, but you know it's there. It's just amazing how nature works. So yeah, with baby movements, I would say that once you start noting that they are moving, it is good to keep an eye, and you will figure out. You don't need to stress about, I need to note down the time, because they don't have a set pattern, but overall they would have a night and day. It might not be your night and day, but yeah, both of my kids were super active at night. Just boom. As soon as I'm in bed, I don't know what it was. They would just start kicking, rolling around, and doing all sorts. But if you ever note that there is some change, please, please, please report it. Go to the hospital. The only annoying thing about it was that when you would submit and go into the hospital yourself to, as a sort of emergency checkup for your baby, they would take it seriously. But honestly, who are we kidding? The UK hospitals, the waiting times are crazy. So sometimes you'd have to sit on those uncomfortable seats for actually 2-3 hours. So be prepared for that. But I would say, don't be paranoid, but at the same time, trust your gut feeling. If you ever feel at any point things are actually a bit, I haven't felt the baby move since the morning, usually there would be a slight kick here and there. It's always best to check. It's always best to be safe. And there's no regrets with that. Next question. Sorry, who's questioning me here? No one's questioning me. Next point is vitamins. Make sure you are having your vitamins. Your hair, generally when you're pregnant, you end up growing thick, luscious hair. My hair overall isn't the best, but I would say when I was pregnant both times, I did end up growing a lot more hair. Not just on my head, by the way, all over. It was crazy. There was one time my husband was like, you need, shave your beard. It's a bit overdue. So so embarrassing. No, but seriously, your hair does grow really good. That's why after you've given birth, a lot of women have postpartum hair loss, because your hair has a certain cycle where it grows and sheds, but there's less shedding during your pregnant stage. So when you're not pregnant and you've given birth, all the hair that you would have lost gradually during those 9 months comes out suddenly, which is why it feels super crazy. But that's basically the science behind it, in case anyone was thinking. But it's really important to have your vitamins. I would use Pregnacare, almost all use Pregnacare, and also folic acid is recommended at the beginning. But just make sure you stay on top of that. And in terms of other medication, I think literally paracetamol was the only thing we could have. Things like ibuprofen is a no-no. Definitely no. But please, any medication, anything that you're about to take, check with your midwife. It's so important. You don't want to take any risks when it comes to your baby. I love this one. Leg cramps. I was one of the fortunate women to experience the divine sensation of having cramps in the middle of the night. And oh God, were they painful. Some women actually get this during their last trimester. And they hurt. I don't know if you've ever had leg cramp, but it's just crazy. Like, first of all, it takes me ages to fall asleep, and now I get woken up because of a sudden cramp in my leg. How did I deal with that? There was actually I actually ended up checking away. So if anyone is suffering with leg cramps, when you get a leg cramp, it's very painful, and you don't know what to do with your leg. But for me, it really helped because I was laying down, I was sleeping. It was to stretch what you would do is you would point your toe towards your face, and your heel you would push it down onto the mattress. That's if you're laying down on bed. But yeah, if you push your heel down onto the mattress and point your toes towards you, that was a bit helpful for me. But you can check online as well and see if there's anything else that could help with the cramping. Pregnancy pillows. Now there are so many fancy schmancy pregnancy pillows. I just used all sorts of pillows, and in fact I also used the little travel pillows, the neck pillows that you have when you're sitting on the plane. They were really helpful for me because I would put like one between my legs when I was sleeping, and one behind my back as well, and then one in front of my belly. So basically there's pillows everywhere on my bed. But yeah, it can get very uncomfortable when you're sleeping. So I would say stuff yourself with pillows. You don't have to spend a fortune on these fancy aesthetic pregnancy pillows, but due to their shape and their curve, it is helpful. But if you're on a tight budget, any pillow will do. Any sort of you could use like a cushion as well. And like I said, I used those neck travel pillows. They were quite helpful. And then you will figure out a way of what's comfortable for you. And obviously I would sleep a bit high. And when it came to sleeping, please do not sleep on your back as you progress into the pregnancy. Again, check on the details with your midwife. It's advised to sleep on the sides. So yeah, that's quite important. The next thing is bath mat. Now this might sound silly to you, but honestly, when you go into the shower, first of all, everyone should have a bath mat in general, whether it's a shower cubicle or a bath. Because, it's quite easy for you to slip with the water. And when you're pregnant, oh God, there was actually one time where I was coming out the bath and I literally slipped. But thank God, nothing happened. I was safe. I didn't even hurt myself. But it was so crazy. And after that, I was like, you know what? I need to get a bath mat. What am I doing? And yeah, just get a mat so that when you get into your shower cubicle or your bath, you don't slip. At least it prevents you from slipping. Don't risk it at all, because honestly, things can get really messy and you can hurt yourself as well. The next thing is maternity leave. If you're working, it's always good to figure out when you're going on leave. I actually went on leave a month before my due date, just because I wanted to, I can't really relax, but relax in the sense that, okay, now I don't have to worry about work, get my mind off that and start just preparing my mindset and, just sorting out any last minute shopping as well. So yeah, for me personally, 1 month before was an ideal time to go. And when to start shopping. Now with shopping, I would say, and I'm actually going to make a video on all items that I think are useful and also useless. With my first pregnancy, oh God, I just went all over, and I actually realized there were so many things I didn't need. I'm a very practical person. Not really into the whole aesthetic thing. I just need things which are practical, which can be affordable as well, and useful again for later, because babies grow so quickly, so fast. Clothes overgrow so quickly. And there's just not enough time for you to keep repeating certain outfits, because it's just so amazing how they grow so fast. So yeah, I'm actually going to make another video, and I will so please keep an eye on that. But yeah, in terms of shopping, I will actually list down, what things there are. But I would say, if you see anything, for example, if there's a pushchair in your mind, then you can always see that beforehand. And a lot of people would actually, like, for my first pregnancy, I bought a brand new pushchair, and it came in a set with a baby car seat as well. But with my second, because it was quite a gap, I needed a double pushchair, because my first son was still quite young. So I actually thought, I checked the price, and it is expensive. I thought, let me actually look at secondhand. And I don't know why I didn't do that the first time. There are so many pushchairs in great quality. You can go on eBay, Gumtree, where actually it would be so much more affordable. So I don't know why I did that. And honestly, you can have a go. You can go and look at it beforehand and see if it's all, the quality is up for it. But I'm telling you, it's literally the same thing, as long as the wheels work properly, right? As long as there's space and as long as it's clean. Obviously, when it comes, you can give it a nice wipe yourself as well. But I would say, yeah, please save your money. You don't need to buy brand new things. There are plenty of used but in good condition items which you can take instead. And the last thing is mindset and staying active. Walk. Use whatever excuse you have to walk when you're pregnant. It's a really easy time for you to actually be asking your partner or your family member or anyone else or your child, oh, can you pass that to me here? Can you pass it to me there? No, try to do it yourself. It will really help you during your labor, during your delivery time. Whether you're having a natural vaginal delivery or you're actually going to have a C-section, regardless, it's really important for you to be getting used to staying active, because that you need that energy regardless during your labor. So I walked as much as I could both times, and I found that it does help you, and also in terms of just staying active, it does help. It does get tiring, it does get a little bit harder, but it does help. Now the final thing is mindset. Everything I've listed is just to be realistic. It's not to put anyone down. It's not to stress anybody out. It's just to actually prepare you, because let's say you're just pregnant right now. You just found out and you're listening to this. Now you're aware. You said, okay, Mama Rant said this, and I'm expecting that. And I understand that. I'm going to get my free NHS prescriptions. I'm going to eat well so that I reduce my risk of gestational diabetes. I also will make sure I can ask my midwife all the questions in the world. I'll be aware that I have to pee so many times. I'll be taking my vitamins. I'll be aware that I could have a possibility of leg cramps, and I should figure out how to, manage them. Pregnancy pillows. Oh, and also a bath mat, and just making sure I'm safe. But with your mindset, throughout this whole process, you can still be positive. There will always be a risk to everything in life, not just you being pregnant. If we only hold on to fear, then it's not going to help us in any way or for our baby. And you're the mother, you're the one that needs this comfort, you need that power, you need it for not only yourself but now for your child as well. So always remember to stay confident in yourself, stay positive, think of the bright side, look forward to seeing your baby. At the same time, take care of yourself, take care of your mental health, take care of your physical health, and take care of your baby. It can sound really hard and daunting, but once you actually create a routine, a safe space for you, and you realize that you're so powerful, your mind is so powerful, that you are in charge of how you perceive life and how you take on these next few months, your process will become much more easier because you will start knowing what to expect. You will know and find a solution, and you will feel better. So thank you for listening. I hope you found this helpful, and I'll see you in my next video.